I'm saying let's go. You're saying maybe. Let's find a disco. You're stuck at home being so lazy. Hey. Give me some, give me some, give me some, give me some, give me some energy. Wanna come, wanna come, wanna come, wanna come, wanna come dance with me. Give me some, give me some, give me some, give me some, give me some energy. Wanna come, wanna come, wanna come, wanna come, wanna come dance with me. There's no fire without smoke, I ain't letting you go. I can see you buzzing like you can't say no. There's no fire.
All right, y'all, welcome back. Y'all saw in my last video how I got all this organized in the garage, and I'm gonna use my Cricut today and label everything because y'all know I love to do that, and I've been dying to get it labeled so the kids know where stuff goes to. But I'm also going to head into, I guess, like phase 2 of the organization. I'm trying to take it little bits at a time because it will overwhelm me. It's just a wreck, y'all. It's a wreck. There's a lot going on in here. So we're just dealing with this for right now. Those are the hot water heaters over there, so we can't get anything too close, and I told y'all we got a new fridge. So I wanna get that cleaned out and filled up, but in order to do that, the fridge needs to be right there, but far enough away from the hot water heaters because the outlet it needs to go in is right back behind here. So I need to take everything off these shelves, clean them, and shift them over just a little bit to maybe like right there up to Mark's workout mats. But there is all kinds of like, there's spider webs, there's dust, there's leaves, there's everything. So I'm gonna try to get this done quickly and get to labeling too.
Some you know and some you don't. Don't blame me for being suspicious, but I see you need something else than what you want.
This process was so time consuming, but I just looked at it as something that needed to be done, so I just put my head down and kept doing the next thing. These shelves are from Home Depot. I'm pretty sure we got them a few years ago, and I do love them for the garage, but they are heavy duty and really hard to move. Y'all will see in a little bit, I move one of the shelves by myself. Not the best idea. 0 out of 10, would not recommend, but Mark helped me for the second one, so that was good. I have had the bins on them organized for a while, thankfully, but anytime you have stuff that you are going to store in your garage, it's bound to get nasty, so it's probably a good thing I was moving these around anyway, so it gave me a chance to wipe down all the bins. Y'all can see here, basically I'm struggling, and I was doing everything I could to move this, but it was making the worst sounds against the concrete, giving me extreme heebie-jeebies. I finally got it done though, so I could wipe down each shelf.
I wish you could see yourself just like I do. Maybe you would know by now I really liked you. I'm not missing you. I'm not full of myself, just like you. I'd rather break my own thread like a needle I stitch you up just for you to tear it up again. I'm through. I'm not missing you. 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 I wish you could see yourself just like I do. Maybe you would know by now I really liked you. I'm not missing you.
The stuff Mark has from his childhood makes me laugh so much, but he is attached to it. There are certain things that he does not want to get rid of, so we just keep them in bins out here and we never go in there or never look at them. Some of them are really heavy though, and I'm like, how do you have an entire bin of Pez? But you know what, it's fine. I probably have something that I'm collecting too and just don't realize. But yes, thank goodness Mark was out there to help me with the second one. It made it so much easier, and we didn't have to hear that horrible sound. And I had just ordered us pizza for it to be delivered, so I felt like I had an extra pep in my step. I was so excited about eating pizza.
Wanna feel you like a heart breeze in the
Y'all know those cobwebs? We get them a lot in our garage, and they kind of form into little balls and then they stick to you when you're trying to get them off your finger. I don't know, it's just a different kind than any other kind. Well, at one point in this process, I had it on me and I thought it was a spider, and so I started shaking and freaking out, and then I realized it was a web, but it still was really nasty and it took forever to get off me. That is just the joy that comes along with cleaning a garage out when you live in Georgia or anywhere in the South. I talked about that a little bit in my last video, and some of y'all were like, I am not jealous of that. It really just doesn't bother me too badly. I definitely have a ton of extra paint and stain too. I just never know when I'm gonna need it, so I save it all, and then sometimes I'll open up a can and realize it's a little bit old or maybe just not in the best shape, so I will get rid of it. But I basically keep everything I use when it comes to paint, so I guess I shouldn't be talking about Mark.
You should answer when I call. You are the one we want.
I used this blower in my last video too, and I had lots and lots of questions about it, so I will be sure to link it if I can. I actually can't even tell you exactly what the brand is. It's definitely the best blower that we have ever owned. I love it so much. Mark uses it in the yard and I use it a ton in the garage.
Tell them to open up the gates. We are the ones that liberate. The ones that never.
Okay, it might not have seemed like it on camera, but oh my word, that was a ton of work. I was sweating like crazy, but it is totally worth it to have it shifted over. Mark said he still has plenty of space to work out, which is good. I do not have all of these bins labeled, and that's okay because I really actually need to go through some of them, and those paper label things are from forever ago, but this works for me right now because it is at least semi-organized. We have some of our beach chairs and little other type chairs right there, and like I said, I still need to wipe down the fridge. It's new, so I just kind of want to sanitize it and then stock it up, but I'm going to go ahead and go do my labels for the other shelf real quick first. All right, I am upstairs in my office now, but what I went ahead and did when I was down in the garage was write down what I want each of the labels to be, and I want to do some of them black and some of them white, and I went ahead and measured too because all of the containers are different sizes. Well, some of them are the same, but you know, they're different from each other. So this makes things so much easier. I don't have to second guess or wonder. I know exactly what I want to do. So now I just go into Cricut Design Space. As soon as you open up your design space, you're just going to want to start a new project. And when I know that I'm doing labeling, I like to type all of my words into their own text box because some words you want bigger, smaller, that type of thing. Some words are longer. So I just go ahead and type everything up, and then I do the adjustments. So I'll make them bigger, I'll make them smaller, I'll move the letters closer together. Obviously, I'll change out the font, and you can look on the fonts that Cricut Design Space has, or you can look under the Systems tab and it will have all the fonts that you have downloaded. I played around with some of the fonts, but I ultimately ended up deciding on this font right here, Aloha Summer, for the ones that I wanted to do in black. And that's another thing too, you want to group them according to the color just to make it easier on your mat. So all of these labels right here are going to be my black ones, and I'm making them the size that I need them to be based on the measurements that I wrote down. And then once you have everything the way you like it, you just click that green button in the top right part of the screen and it says make it, and it's going to show you how it will look on your mat and what it will cut. And if you're not ironing it on something, you just click the vinyl, which is what we're using, vinyl. It's not heat transfer vinyl. And then you put whatever vinyl that you're using on your mat, which is sticky, and you run it through your machine. I have the Cricut Maker and I have the Cricut Joy. I use my Cricut Maker way more than I use the Joy, and that's not because I don't love the Joy, but it's just because my Maker can do basically everything. So I reach for this one a lot more, and I'm constantly using regular vinyl and the heat transfer vinyl. Once the machine was done cutting out all those labels for the bins, I went ahead and typed up everything that I wanted for the white labels, and I'm keeping these together too just because that's what makes it the easiest. So I'm putting on how much vinyl I need on this mat, sending it through my machine, which can cut so many different things. It's just insane, and it's crazy how easy it is to do it too. Sometimes when I'm doing this, I'm like, I can't believe I know how to do this. After the machine is done cutting, I just gently lift the vinyl off the mat, and then I personally like to cut out all of my words and have them individual. If you weed or pull up the extra vinyl with the whole thing just being one big piece, it's a little bit harder. So I cut all mine up, and I went ahead and decided to go downstairs because Mark was still awake and I wanted to talk to him for a little bit. But you just need your Cricut transfer tape and the scraper, and then that little weeding tool. This is one of my favorite parts of the whole process because I just feel like it's so relaxing to get all the excess vinyl off. And once you do this and take the bigger pieces, then you just use your tool and go in and get the smaller ones, like the insides of the letters. And if you guys have any questions on just basic Cricut stuff, I do have a highlight over on my Instagram of some projects that I've done, and it also walks you through how to get more fonts and just how to do all of the basic stuff with heat transfer vinyl and vinyl. So check it out if you are wondering about that, because everyone has to start somewhere, and it wasn't too long ago that I was just getting started too. And not that I'm an expert by any means, but I've learned so much along the way, and it truly is just so simple to do. So once I put the transfer tape on top and then I use the scraper, you then pull back the paper, and then you're just left with the transfer tape with your vinyl on it. So that is what you stick on whatever you want to be labeled. So I'm just going through it, doing all of that, and once you get it straight and how you like it, you use your scraper, scrape it on there, and then you peel back the transfer tape, and then you are all done. And I have been wanting to label these bins out here for so long, and I'm so glad that I finally got them done. And not only that, but I've used my Cricut for so many things. Even over the past couple weeks, we had Teacher Appreciation Week. I made gifts for the teachers. If my kids last minute need a shirt for something, like the night before Bo's birthday, I really wanted to make him a shirt that said 5 on it, and it was just so easy to do. And one of my best friends is about to get married, and she called me yesterday and asked me to make a sign for her wedding, and I said absolutely, it will be so easy to do. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And then y'all know I have put a lot of names on a lot of tumblers, and that's one of my favorite things to do. I just think they're so fun. So if you've been on the fence about diving in with Cricut or not, hopefully this will encourage you to do it. Even if you feel a little bit nervous about it, just don't be intimidated. I promise, just start it. I think you'll realize how amazingly easy it is and how much fun you are going to have. I'm going to have all of my favorite Cricut things linked in my description box, so y'all check it out for all those easy links. You can go down and see what might interest you, and I just appreciate Cricut so much for sponsoring today's video. Okay, I wanted to show y'all the finished product more in the daylight because it got so dark last night, but this was one of the most simple things to do, and I just feel like it adds the best touch in here, especially since my kids can read and they know exactly where to put their stuff now. And if anyone's watching them, they know where to come grab the stuff from. I am so happy with how this turned out. Unfortunately, we forgot about a recyclables week, which stinks because they only pick it up every other week. So that means we had 2 more weeks to wait, and we had a ton of stuff. So this can right here is overflowing. You'll see once I fill it up. I did end up taking some stuff just right down the road too, and we still have a bunch more. And now that they have just recently come and got it, we have already almost filled it back up. So lots of fun. We go through a lot of things, I guess, that need to be recycled, but better to recycle them than throw them away, I guess.
Lessons to learn.
We found this fun little fridge online. Well, we just got it from Home Depot, and they delivered it to us when I was out of town, but I did get it plugged up, and so it was cold already, but I still needed to wipe it down. I probably did things out of order, but that's fine. I just like to make sure things are fully sanitized before we use it because you just never know. But they wrap these things up so well. I could not get all the plastic off, and then even around the handles on the outside, there's still plastic pieces. You can see in the door there's still pieces. I just had to pretend like they weren't there because they were frustrating me. I was trying to pull and pull and I could not get them off. But I am so happy that we have this out here. What's funny is now that I've filled it up a good bit, I wonder how I ever lived without it, and I kind of almost feel like we could use another one. Isn't that weird? I think it's going to be especially helpful during the summer months.
Nobody else can take your place. I'll never want somebody else. Hey, I'm here for you. I'm reading every message I send to you. Love is overdue, but you know that I could never give up on you. Hey, I'm here for you. Are you reading every message I send to you? Love is overdue, but you know that I could never give up on you. Yeah, yeah. Pushing the past again, no. You know my little triggers keep on triggering them all. I've had enough of this, oh. Our timeline's getting worn out when we're going back and forth. You know we're only pretending, we're only weekend.
Okay, so it's getting really late at this point, and those of you who know me well know that I pretty much work best in the nighttime, literally during the nighttime, probably 3-4 a.m. I know it's not always what's best, but all of my family is sound asleep, and it just makes me feel good to get stuff done when nobody needs me, and I don't feel guilty about dividing my time. But I was in the garage doing all of this, and the boys' room is directly above the garage, and I don't think they do this all the time, although I don't spend a ton of time in the garage in these after hours. But Max had fallen out of the bed, and I think I even got it in a clip, but I guess I probably deleted it. My whole body shook. I do not do well with like sudden noises. Y'all know I get scared so easily anyway. But the kid is not a light kid, and he fell out of the bed, and I actually didn't even know it was him until the next morning because I could tell from the footsteps that whether it was Bo or Max, he got back into bed. But the thud was so loud and it echoed throughout the garage that I was just in shock for a second. And I typically will always be like, Mark, you have to go check, because I just get nervous. Even though I know it's one of our kids, I get nervous that it's like a stranger or something crazy upstairs. But Mark was sound asleep too. So I was just, you know, saying a prayer and hoping for the best. And I just kept on stocking this fridge.
We keep on paper chasing all these made up reasons. You're the only one for me. My heart is wasted. We keep on paper chasing, acting pretty small when we are growing out of love. Why can't we face it? Keep on paper chasing all these made up reasons. You're the only one for me. My heart is
I will show y'all how the fridge and freezer look in the morning just with some better daylight. It was super dark. But the last thing I needed to do before I went to bed was get these teacher gifts together. So I had been collecting things over the days and weeks before. Some of y'all are teachers, and over on Instagram I asked what y'all enjoy getting. And so many of y'all said school supplies. Some of y'all said candy and wine and some other type of stuff. But I ended up doing school supplies, a few little fun things like some chapstick and some candy and gum. But then I just did gift cards because I feel like who doesn't love a good gift card to Amazon or Target or Walmart or whatever. I thought the teachers might appreciate that. So the boys each have 2 teachers and the girls just have 1 homeroom teacher. So that is what these 6 are for. I do not have 6 kids. Bundling these up, getting them ready, and the next morning it was almost comical. as the kids were getting out of the car trying to hand these to them. I should have probably thought about that and made it a little bit easier for them, but I thought the teachers could also use this cute little organizational bin from Target. But Kate was trying to just figure out in her head, okay, who do I need to help? How many can I grab? Because she wanted to help out the boys, and she's on the same hallway as them in school. So Ava is on her own hallway altogether, so she wouldn't be able to help them out anyway. But it ended up getting done. I think maybe one thing might have flown out of one of these, but that's okay. It could have been way, way worse. But I love the way that these turned out, and the kids' teachers all sent the sweetest notes and said thank you for them. And it was just a really simple but fun idea for the teachers who were so amazingly wonderful to my kiddos this year.
Think they're all missing out. I guess it used to be me, but now I just wanna leave.
I wanted to show y'all the freezer and the fridge too. It got really late last night, like I said, but it is not fully stocked up in here. I still need to do that, but I'm just so happy to have a freezer out here and a fridge that we can stock up and just have the extra space, because we run out very quickly inside. So there's just some Uncrustables, and Mark had divvied up some of his huge steak that he ordered from Costco, waffles, corn dogs, and some chicken tenders. And then we have the essentials in the fridge too. The only essentials of life, which is Dr. Pepper. I love an ice cold drink from a can. I know that's crazy, but it just tastes so much better than like the 2 liter or anything like that. And I like to put my fridge all the way up at the coldest setting. So these are basically ice cold. Some of Mark's Premier Protein, and then juices for the kids. I don't let my kids drink juice a ton, so I'm keeping them out here so they don't really see them that much, and some bottled water. These are actually some meats that I probably need to go ahead and figure out something to do with, because they probably need to be frozen. And then some Go-Gurt. So I do need to get things more stocked up in here, but I'm just so excited about this. I know most people already have a fridge and a freezer in their garages, but we have gone so long without one, so yay!
Wake up, sunshine, the brightest sky. Follow me on this journey. Leave your troubles far behind. It's a new day, yeah.
Moving on back inside, and now that it is officially summer, which I'm so excited about, it is time to clean out the backpacks. I actually am not doing that this year. Bo didn't really have anything in his backpack except this extra little outfit that he had just in case during the school year. But the girls have tons of stuff, and they're getting to the age where I don't know if they want to keep stuff. I don't know if they want to get rid of it. So I set their backpacks in the living room on the pew for them to go through the next morning, decide what they want to keep and what they want to throw away or get rid of. And we are giving away the backpacks and starting over next year just to have like a fresh start. And this mudroom now is basically only for their shoes in the little cubbies, and then we hang our pool bags and cooler bags on these hooks, which makes me so excited because summertime is just the best. My kids love doing any and everything outside, so I'm excited for all of the fun times that are going to be had this summer.
Well, I won't take us, I don't know, but I want you by my side.
Our gum drawer has shifted over a little bit. If you guys know, it used to be the next drawer over, but I started putting it in this drawer to hide it from the kids because my boys especially are obsessed with gum. But of course, after a while they saw it and caught on. We go through lots of gum. My favorite is the orange Trident. I think it's so good. Now for breath necessarily, I guess it's probably not the best, but it just tastes so good. I love any fruity type of flavor. But as I was shoving all of the gum that could fit in here, I started thinking I've got to rework some of these cabinets. My kids' craft cabinets, they take up like 1, 2, 3, 4, I think, in the kitchen. It doesn't make any sense, and there's no real rhyme or reason to it. There are a few bins that are labeled, and that is all well and good, but it is just too chaotic for me. And my kids do arts and crafts all the time. They're constantly coloring pictures, which I love, but I just need to come up with a system that works better for all of us. So I'm going to be doing that very, very soon. And I will film it too and just kind of let y'all know what we do in case you need any ideas for all of the crazy craft situations that are in probably a lot of our homes.
Baby, can we talk about it? There's something that I need to say to you. Don't say I'm never honest. Ay. But baby, should we lie about it? Do we still pretend that we're okay? Like nothing's going on here. Cause I don't have any feelings to hurt, and all you got is a serious words. There's nothing to do about it. Tell me the truth about it. I got no tears left to cry. Can you just look me in the eye and tell me we're messed up and you dress up for the part? Yeah.
To be honest, I wasn't planning on filming this cleaning because, you know, this is just the routine nightly cleaning that I either do or I should do every single night. And I just wanted to get it done and not really think about it. But I figured I would film it because I don't want you guys to ever think that you are alone in the monotonous every night cleaning that you just want to look away from and don't necessarily want to tackle every single day because you're exhausted or you've dealt with a screaming kid or you are having problems at work or whatever your issues might be. I know a lot of us have a lot on our plates and on our minds. So cleaning is not really always what we want to do, but we get it done because we know it's what helps us feel better. So if you're in the thick of all of the craziness right now, I feel you and I'm here for you, and I promise you that you are not alone.
By myself, you know. Went through every number on my telephone. I thought that all I needed was someone to hold, but I was wrong. I never thought that maybe I needed a friend. You have always been there together till the end. I thought that all I needed was someone to hold, but I was wrong. Finding love ended in disaster. No such thing as happily ever after. Love ended in disaster, disaster. Now I'm free. You show me that I don't need somebody. I only need myself, now it's just me. I'm gonna be free, be free.
I'm curious, what does your summertime schedule look like? Do you go into work and your kids have somewhere to go or somewhere to be? Or do you work from home, or are you a stay-at-home mom? So you guys know my weird work life, mom life balance kind of, but I definitely work from home. But I try to mainly have my focus when my kids are awake to be them. But that's not always possible. I do have to get work done in their awake hours. So since we've only had a few days of summer so far, I'm learning that it is definitely going to be a very big adjustment. And it's not just the adjustment of my work life and being a mom to them. It's also all of our friends wanting to do all of the things all of the time. And then making sure we carve out enough time for family and just time together, just the 6 of us as well. So I have not figured out at all how I'm going to balance all of this and juggle it all. Hopefully it won't be a total disaster, but through it all, I just don't want life to be so crazy and hectic that we can't ever slow down and enjoy it. So that is what I'm going to aim for this summer, is to just take each day as it comes and enjoy it to the fullest, but also work really hard. You guys will be so proud of me. I might not know my way around an Instant Pot at all, even though I've had one for years, but I did buy an air fryer. Now, I know some of y'all suggested some really, really nice ones, and I'm sure those are probably better than what I got, but what had happened was I was ordering some groceries on Costco, and they had an air fryer on there that was on major sale. I think it said it was basically like half off, and it seemed like it was a really, really good deal. I think it was $60, and they delivered it to me, you know, within the hour or two, because Costco is so fast with their grocery delivery. And we have been using it like crazy. Mark was actually the first one to use it. We have done so many things in it, including like cinnamon rolls and fries, and nothing I say is going to sound healthy, but that's fine. Everything has been really, really good. So I'm so happy that I got it, and know it might not be the nicest one, but it works really, really well, and it does everything that we need it to. So it always feels good to end the evening with a clean kitchen, even though sometimes you don't feel like doing it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see y'all back here soon.
If you ever feel alone, 'cause yeah, sometimes we'll feel alone. In a second, I'll be right there. Turn around, let it rain. Turn around and let it rain on me. Don't you be afraid.